Sratan Patak, happy Friday. Welcome to 5 Question Friday. I am Sarah of Expat in Croatia, and every Friday at 5 o'clock Croatia time, I answer 5 questions from people who have sent them in on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, expatincroa.com, email my consulting sessions, Cam's consulting sessions, and I don't know, I can't think of anything creative right now because I've been traveling for a month and I don't even know where I am right now. Split feels like a mirage. I am not actually here. So today's a super special episode. It's been super fun because I've been traveling and doing these in other places, and I've had Mario was on and Cam was on, and now we have Nikolina Kukoč from Split Tech City, who is here with me today. Thank you so much for being here. We have seriously postponed this 4 or 5 times.
A whole year, basically.
Yeah, I think we started talking about it in a previous calendar year.
Yeah, in previous calendar year.
Yes, but we are both busy ladies.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
We could say that.
Yes, we finally are overlapping.
Overlapping schedules for an hour.
Yes. So now she's here with me today, and I cannot tell you how excited I am about this because there's so many things I want to talk to her about, and I'm sure that you're going to find it immensely fascinating. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me and for doing this in general, because it's an amazing thing.
Oh, thank you so much. I really love doing it. It's something that I was not great at when I started doing it, and I'd like to think I've gotten better at it. You always got to have continuous improvement, right? We are evolutionary beings.
True, totally.
Yeah, and now this is a part of my week that I cannot possibly do without. So let me tell you where we are. We are on Marjan Hill in Split. If you do not know Split, that's all right. Won't hold it against you. Marjan Hill is a forest. We'd call it a hill, but honestly it's 2 hills that are jammed together. At least that's what it looks like to me. If you're on the right peak, it looks like 2 hills.
It looks a little bit like 2 hills, but generally like a hill.
Yeah, it's a hill. So we have kind of scaled it, and I'm gonna take you off the little tripod-y thing and show you what it looks like, because we did have the sea in the background, but then we were in darkness and that wasn't so great, so we had to shift a little bit, but the sea is like right there. So I'm gonna take you off and spin you around, and I'll be real gentle. I promise, guys. So just give me a moment.
Enjoy the view, because
yes,
it's amazing.
If I can get you off here. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so here we go. That's Island Brach. That's Island Sholta. That's the Adriatic Sea. That's Sustipan down there. This is an old church.
St. Nicholas.
St. Nicholas. And then that is Marjan Hill, which looks a lot smaller there than it really actually is. You can hike on it for hours and get totally lost on it. And sometimes that happens with tourists, and they have to send out search parties and stuff. And that's
why it's good to have Croatian mountain rescue ready.
Yeah, oh, they're amazing.
They are amazing.
Yeah. I've talked with Maria about doing a post about them because we haven't written about them, and they're incredible. A friend of mine, actually a contributor to our site, Isabel, she got lost once in Istria, like walking around by her house, and she called them, and they led her out of the woods. Somehow they managed to find her, I don't know how, and talked her out. So no, super impressed by them.
Yeah, they are impressive, definitely.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. Now, this is how this is gonna work, guys, because this one's gonna be a little bit different. So usually when I do interviews, we have 5 questions because it's 5 Question Friday. That's kind of what we're doing here. But I just could not be limited. So we're going to do 5 topics, and we're going to have a variety of questions, because the great thing about this is I get to make the rules. So I get to change them whenever I want. It's amazing.
And you have to deal.
You have to deal. But I think that that's going to benefit, because we're going to talk about 5 really very different topics. And I'm just so excited for this discussion. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right.
Go for it.
Yes. So we're going to start by talking about Split Tech City, because you are from Split Tech City. So I want to start by just setting a baseline for everybody. Like, okay, what's the elevator pitch of what does Split Tech City do, and why should someone come and be a member of Split Tech City?
Well, it's an organization that gathers tech companies in Split and the region. And the reason to join is the basically most powerful thing that exists in the world, community. Because you get an awesome community that you can fall back on, that you can be inspired by, and yeah.
All right.
That's about it.
It sounds pretty good to me. Now, what do you do at Split Tech City?
I'm a content creator in English. We have an inside joke because there are two of us, my colleague Romana. Hi Romana! And she is the Croatian version of me and I'm the English version of Romana. So that's the deal. Content creation and event organization basically. So everything from YouTube videos, our podcasts that we have with internationals that moved here, to social media posts, articles on our website, and a variety of events of different scale and different topics. So yeah, quite a lot of that.
Quite a lot of that. Yes. You do a lot of things, and it's chain of all trades.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's what makes it interesting, I guess, because you don't have, and not a single day is equal to another, and there are always different things to work on, and you always have to have your mind engaged, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
That's always a good thing.
That keeps the dementia away.
Yeah. Indeed it does.
So part of what you do at Split Tech City is you do interviews on a podcast, which you interviewed me.
Yeah.
Was that last year? Because it feels like 5 years ago.
Whoa, yeah, it was last year.
That seems light years away.
Yeah, I know.
How far away that was. So I would like to ask, how many interviews have you done so far? Do you know?
I think our 13th was, or 12th was on Wednesday. Because we
12?
filmed. Yeah.
No way. There can't only be 12.
I think there are.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah, there are.
I feel like I've gone on your YouTube and there's been like a wall of interviews.
Yeah, well, that's because you get on our YouTube and then you have like a wall of lectures, a wall of panels, a wall of other things.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of content.
Yeah,
I'm very,
yeah. So
I have YouTube envy of your channel.
well, the same thing as community building, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because Split Tech City actually initiated it 2010. So yeah, and of course not on this scale, but it needs time.
Sure.
All good things need time.
Absolutely. So, you got to give it time to bake.
Yeah.
So, of the interviews you've done, which has been your favorite? And I know it's me, but if it couldn't be me that you picked.
If it couldn't be you that I picked, tough one. Because there were a lot of them, that's the first thing, and they were very varied. Like, for example, the last one we did, there were students from the Arts Academy because they were learning how to make videos. So that's a cool thing. There was also one when we had to deal with a lot of seagulls and crickets and stuff. So that was also interesting because, you know, you're outside, you have to deal. So I guess every single one was special in a way. So I couldn't pick one because, even the people were interesting in their own way. So I couldn't really couldn't single out like one person, one interview.
I recommend checking out the interviews that Nikolina has done. They are really interesting. Foreigners who've come to Split, and they're all about like 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much so. It depends on the speaker, how comfortable they are, how much they talk about what they do. So it actually fluctuates in time, I guess.
Sure, kind of like 5 Question Friday does, guys. Depending on what it is that we have to talk about. So, so I would check them out at Split Tech City on YouTube. That's the handle, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so While we're still on this topic, I want to ask you what you think Croatia's biggest untapped opportunity in tech is.
Tough one. Tough one, especially because you have to understand that I'm sort of an observer and a messenger. There are people who are deeply into tech, who have been in this tech community for a long time. And as a content creator, I'm more of a observer of the community and then a messenger for said community.
Sure.
So I can give you an answer in terms of what I heard people say.
Okay.
But that would definitely be, I guess, as it was said on a lot of recent meetups and also on our Split City Festival and also on Next Youth Conference, there's been a lot of talk about it, not just in Croatia but also worldwide, and that's AI. Because we've been, unfortunately, but the thing is, we've been kind of late with the first internet revolution. Because obviously you cannot catch up to Silicon Valley, let's say.
Yeah.
There's no way to catch up to that. So you have to like go into the newest thing that's a hit right now. And that's it.
Have you incorporated any AI into your daily task for Split Tech City?
Obviously not, because because we work so much.
You still work like a maniac? Yeah. Same.
I mean, there are helpful tools, definitely. But I guess you definitely need time to like learn how to use them. Because they're not helpful if you don't know how to direct them.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and to do that you need to have time, and we just like kind of kept going with all.
Oh yeah, the hamster wheel.
Yeah,
the hamster wheel.
The events all this year and the festival and in September, so we just kind of kept going and going. So yeah.
Isn't it kind of ironic that business focused around tech doesn't have enough time to implement new tech? Like, it's
a little bit like that. So that's one of the reasons why like we had a meeting, like the team meeting. But when we say team meeting, it's just the three of us, just to make things clear, because people still think that there's like, I don't know, 10, 12 of us.
Yeah, but that showcases how much you guys are creating. That's a testament to how hard you're working and how capable you are and how creative you are, that you're able to create so much when it is a smaller team.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That is a compliment to you and
to the rest of the team, definitely, which is amazing. I guess the most important person is in that is Tony, who initiated the whole thing, who is also the president of Split City, and he has I'd say one admirable quality, and that's unending energy when it comes to community building. That's like, hats off for that.
That's a big theme of everything that you do is community building. It's really impressive. I know that we've built a bit of a community in our own way.
Yeah, true.
But the thing that we haven't done really is events, and I'm so in awe of. I know how much work it takes, because I see you after the festivals and different things, and you're like, ah! But that's just how it is. I mean, when you're doing events, it's herding cats.
Yeah.
And doing a delicate dance of all these things have to come together, and whenever you're dealing with people, it just can't always come together as seamlessly as you want to. You can do all the planning, but still, it's a lot of moving pieces, and so I applaud everything that you guys have built, because it's really it's hard to do something like this, especially in Split.
It is and it isn't. It is, I guess, because we like to do things pomalo, slowly, pomalo. And it isn't because there's also another side of Split, and that's Dispet, spite.
So would you like to explain what that is to the lovely folks at home?
That's a difficult one. So Dispet, I think the translation would be spite, but it would be not so accurate, I guess, translation. It's like if someone tells you, oh yeah, you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna succeed, you say, watch me do it. That's Dispet. in a nutshell.
I am fueled by dish bets a lot of the time. I love being underestimated. I get high on it. I will inject it into my veins.
That's why she lives in Split and she found her home here, because like you have to be that way.
Absolutely. Oh, I love proving people wrong. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Good?
Sorry. Yes.
Live?
Yeah.
Want some
I think a
rakia?
bug through my throat. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect transition to our next topic. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is Croatian food.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. I would consider you to be an eater. You
Well-
know, an appreciator.
Yeah, I eat.
So who is the best cook in your family?
My mom.
And what is your favorite dish that she cooks?
Whoa, tough one. Oh god. Every single one?
Is she watching right now?
I don't know. I don't know. She's a nurse in an OR, so she might be working. Yeah.
Tell me this, do you do any cooking of traditional Croatian dishes?
Yes and no.
No, in that I don't have time?
Yeah, that would be it.
Is there any dish that, let's just assume you don't work and you just have all
Okay.
the time in the world. Is there one dish that you're like, you know what, I make this like really, really well?
Typical Croatian? Is it like, does it have to be can it be a sweet dish?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, my nonna has a awesome recipe for honey cookies, medenjaci.
Ooh.
Yeah, a family recipe. And I'm a pro at that. No one does them anymore.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. No, it's not sad, because I'm that much of a pro at them that it's like
You're
handle,
carrying
yeah,
on the tradition?
You handle that one, yeah.
Is this a recipe I can ask for? Because I did not come from a family of cooks, so I had to just kind of figure it out on my own, lest I starve. And I'm not having kids, so I have nobody to pass anything down to. I guess maybe my friends' kids, I can give them recipes and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
friends' kids are kids to pass things on to, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, what else did I want to ask you? Oh, yeah. All right, so let's say we've got somebody who's never been to Croatia.
Right.
They have no Croatian heritage. They don't even know Croatia is a country until you tell them it is. You can feed them one dish to say, this is Croatia.
Okay.
Which dish is that?
Pašticada.
Oh, I love you for saying that. That's my favorite. I love pašticada. Describe your perfect pašticada.
Mom's.
Does she put wine in it?
Yeah, my uncle's wine.
From Hvar?
From Hvar.
I haven't had it, but I had his prošek,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
which is super, super good. I meant to bring it today, but I'm not in my right mind, so I forgot it.
got
But
you
that's okay
covered.
because she surprised me with rakia, which is fantastic.
In coffee cups.
In coffee cups, which is super proper. All right, živjela.
Živjela.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and I think we have to cheer to someone else. Michael Freer, cheers to you too.
Yes, Michael Freer, I don't know if you're out there yet, because if you're not here, I know that means you're in a ditch somewhere injured.
Anyway, we're drinking rakia for you, so
Yes.
just so you know.
Cheers. If you're here, wave the flag so we can talk to you more. I know he'll watch the replay. though.
Oh, here he is. Oh God.
There he is. There he is.
Hi, Mikey.
I knew he was here. I knew he was here. This is for you. So this is borovnica, right?
Yeah.
Which is a blueberry.
Blueberry rakia.
Yeah, which is lovely. Who made this?
My mom.
Ah, your mom's fantastic. I met your mom once at the Oštrokondje.
Yeah. When we sang.
Yes, she was lovely. All right, so now we're going to go into our third topic.
Okay.
The plague of tourism.
The plague of tourism.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of...
That's why I called it a plague. So last year, you and I had a conversation about this. We were at D16 having coffee.
Yeah.
You told me how you were on Riva drinking coffee with a friend, and a tourist came up to you and said, "Oh, I heard that Croatians drink a lot of coffee. Can we take photos of you drinking coffee?"
Yeah, that happened.
Yes.
Please don't do that. We're just trying to enjoy our lives. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there are a lot of tourists out there watching this, but if there are,
please don't do that.
Yes.
We're living here. We're not like props or, I don't know, actors or whatever.
Yeah, which I don't know if you told me this or somebody else told me this, but someone said that someone asked them if they were actors.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this was last summer. And last summer and the summer before were really rough in Split. Tourism had gotten really out of hand. We had a lot of party tourism, cheap tourism, and people were just treating Split like a toilet. And we did have a question from the audience from a couple months back. It was a consulting session I had, and forgive me, I cannot remember your name, and I meant to look it up today, but didn't. But we're answering your question now. This is the perfect opportunity to ask someone who is from here what they think. So she wanted to know what locals think of the tourism problem in Split. And I want to kind of shape this a little bit because this year's been a little bit different because basically at the end of summer last year, the city of Split, like the residents just like freaked out, and they called a town meeting to discuss it. And it's clear that the city is trying to do something about it. So this year, they did a few things. One, now there's a police presence. I mean, it's gone now because season's over, but they had a police presence of people that were fining for, wearing bathing suits and drinking in public and other things that you shouldn't be doing anyways, like peeing in the street, vomiting in the street, defecating in the street. So the way that they notified you of the fines was they put up these giant posters on the main shopping street, like every 2 meters, to remind you not to defecate in the street and that you might be fined if you do this. Which, someone who lives here, I wasn't super jazzed about that becoming part of the scenery.
An eyesore, definitely an eyesore. Unfortunately, obviously, a needed eyesore, which is sad. Because, I love Split because I was born here and it's my hometown. I love the city even due to, many things it could do better. But generally speaking, I wouldn't do that to anyone's city. So I don't want people to do that to my city. And that's what's not so great about it. I mean, we don't mind the tourists. We appreciate when they come to Split and to Croatia and appreciate the country and the city. And but generally speaking, if you came here to appreciate it and have a vacation, a really nice vacation, then that does not include
stepping in human excrement.
Exactly. So yeah.
Seems like it's a pretty low bar,
Yeah.
but. So what I'd like to ask you is, off the back of what our audience members asked is, how do you feel like this summer changed in terms of tourism versus the last couple of years? Do you feel like the things that they made, the police presence, the posters, do you feel like that has had an impact, not had an impact?
I think it's difficult to measure that impact in a single summer, because of course some people were afraid that if you start fining guests they won't come back, but then do we want the guests that behave that way to come back?
Exactly.
So I guess it's not exactly measurable in such a short period of time, because let's face it, a few months don't give you any kind of you need to have a comparison to measure something.
Sure.
So we need to repeat that the next season to see whether it was a hit or miss.
Did anyone ask to take your picture of drinking coffee this year?
No, because I didn't have time to drink coffee in the city center this year.
I call that a win.
Yeah, I'd call that a win too.
I'm a little disturbed because, you know, I hated those posters. They were an eyesore.
Yeah.
But what really kind of broke my heart is, I mean, I was at least relieved that they weren't permanent fixtures, and I knew they'd be gone, and they're gone now.
Yeah.
But what broke my heart is I saw a permanent one.
Yeah.
Over by the Fine Art Gallery.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man, really?
It's just, I mean, yeah, that's a thing that I would like to see gone. Similar as the, I guess, all the ATMs. I mean, we don't need that many of them, and they don't need to be that ugly. I mean, if we do need so many of them, can they at least be like required to blend in instead of being an eyesore?
Sure.
And similar to other things as well, like that popped up. I mean, I would say I'm not against drinking, obviously.
Yes, we're drinking in public now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I hope we don't get fined 150 euros.
But that being said, all the liquor stores,
No.
like all the liquor stores that popped up, that's like,
Well, I mean, we've been attracting drinkers, party tourists, and so they need to go buy their booze somewhere.
true.
Yeah, where was I? I was somewhere the other day at 8:30 in the morning, and there were some younger 20-something guys buying vodka, Red Bull. I'm like, it is 8:30 in the morning.
It's like
Where are you gonna be in 10 hours?
with coffee, together with coffee, like vodka coffee. I guess that's a thing this summer. Yeah.
Well, I guess so. That's an espresso martini, right?
I guess so.
That's a vodka coffee.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. Never tried it. Don't want to. I know. I mean, I use coffee after I drink, so yeah, that's kind of a thing.
Oof. Oh, downward spiral.
We'll drink to that.
If you could do one thing to change tourism in Split, what would you do?
Work hard to spread it out throughout the whole year, so that it becomes sustainable and allows coexistence with people who live here.
That's great. I mean, there's a clear missed opportunity for winter tourism in Split because the weather is really nice. It's actually just getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Thank you, climate change. But we could have a thriving conference sector here in Split. So if there's any like people who have that kind of power or money, Split is ripe for conferences in the winter.
Exactly.
Absolutely. We've got plenty of accommodation.
And plenty of sun. When you're done with the conferencing.
Plenty of stuff to do, and then if we had that, then maybe some more restaurants would stay open year round. I mean, it's all a plus. I think the struggle we're probably going to have is one, infrastructure, like having a proper conference center. That really needs to be built. And although, you know, there's ways to make it work, like Spaladium, for example. But then aside from that, it's like there's a lot of people who don't want to work in winter. They're like, I'm done. I like not working for 5 months, so don't make me.
Yeah, because they are like trampled on in
Yeah.
those like 3 months. Because I worked summer seasons, and if you don't work summer seasons, you don't know what you're talking about. That's what I'm gonna say about it. So it tramples you completely. It's like a stampede. You survive. So I can
Absolutely.
understand why those people are like, okay, I need a break for 5 months to, you know, to become human again, and then
Sure.
you have to start all over.
Absolutely, I would imagine it's pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm traumatized just walking through the palace to run my errands. I can't imagine having to actually like do that, you know, 7 days a week without a day off for months, which is the case. I mean, it's against the law, but no one enforces that. That's just kind of how it is, and I just can't even imagine. All right, we're going to roll right into our fourth topic, preserving Croatian heritage.
For a while.
You know why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah,
with you.
I know.
So, I don't pronounce this word very well.
You do very well. to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, it's a tough word.
It is a tough word.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it, and then we're going to go into what it is that we're talking about. Okay. So Nikolina is in an a cappella group.
Yes.
Called Oštrokondže.
Awesome, man.
Could you say it properly though?
Oštrokondže.
Okay, see, that's better. That's way better. So first, I want you to tell us if you could describe what it is that they do, because then we're going to talk about the name.
Okay.
But first,
Wow.
what it is that you do.
We sing traditional Croatian vocal music, but we don't sing arrangements. We sing the songs of our people. Basically what we do, we learn from people in the villages and preserve those songs in their original form.
So when you say that you don't do arrangements, please share with the people why that is significant.
That is important because there are groups and ensembles that are really awesome, that do great stuff, but that do sing arrangements. What I mean by that is that if you had, let's say, a song in a certain village and that song was sung by two different voices, and then someone came along and wrote it down and then added two more voices to it, so you have 4 different vocal lines now instead of 2, which makes it an arrangement and not a song that was actually originally at the source.
Or if they add instruments.
Yeah, and adding instruments to songs that were actually just vocal songs throughout history.
So to boil it down, you're doing it in the purest form historically. Anything else is just, it's not the same.
Yeah, we try to absolutely stay true to the source. Sometimes it's difficult because you have to determine whether, like, what you hear and learn is really as it was sung at the source. Sometimes we get corrected. Thank you to all wonderful people in various little towns and villages across Croatia that corrected us. Saying hi to specifically to Rogotin and Polača. So yeah, that's pretty much what we do, like focusing on the way things were done then.
I've seen them perform a few times, and I gotta tell you, it just like goosebumps.
Okay.
Your voices are so beautiful. They carry, and I never remember the name of it, but not peristil, but the
vestibule.
Yeah. Vestibule. You guys were in like a pitch perfect showdown in there with a competing group. I remember that.
Yeah. They came along, but that's always a good fun, you know, when you have and it's something what happens like when we go to performances and concerts and these folklore events where you have different groups from various parts of Croatia and even from various parts of the region, and then there's always sort of I wouldn't say a singing battle, but yeah, a singing battle.
That is exactly how it felt. Like, I just was expecting somebody to start, like, pull a knife. It really was from a movie. But you guys going back, because you wouldn't talk to each other. You were just like on opposite sides of a vestibule, and you guys would sing, and then they would sing, and it was like, oh, you cut the tension in the air with a knife. I hope nobody has one.
No. No, we don't. If we do have a knife, that's to cut pršut and sir.
Okay, so now we're going to get to the name. So you had told me what the name meant. I remember you describing it to me, but I wanted to see what Google had to say about the etymology.
Oh, this shall be interesting because
Yes.
Google sometimes translates things that we write completely wrong. Like one of our favorite songs has interesting lyrics that Google translates something along the lines of "I'll drink beer." So yeah, we're not singing about beer, but Google Translate is very fun. So yeah,
It has. It's gotten better over the years.
Yes, but
yeah,
it still
but
has its
sometime-
moments.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does. So it was translated as a quarrelsome, caustic, aggressive female person.
Fabulous. In a way, it is like that if you want to use the term in a derogative manner. But the thing is, the term was mostly used to describe a woman that like stood her ground and did her own thing and was autosufficient and self-sufficient and capable, and that scares people.
Always.
So they called them Oštrokondže.
I like that definition way better. I feel like that's what we are.
Yeah.
We're not aggressive or caustic at all.
No, we just know what we want and we do it.
I know. What a crime.
Yeah.
I know that I would like some more Rocky.
Oh, you want
How
more
do you
Rocky?
feel about that?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it is Friday afternoon.
Yeah, happy hour. This is happy hour.
Yeah, this is happy hour.
Welcome to happy hour.
Literally the last thing. Ooh, deli croat. Hey, Mario. Welcome. Okay, so how do you rate Croatia on preserving its culture and heritage on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being awful, 10 being spectacular.
Are we talking governmental institutions, or are we talking like citizen organizations, like associations?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Governmental institutions would be. I'd be generous and give it a 2.
Burn.
And associations and civil groups and assemblies, and because we're not talking about just singing, we're talking about a variety of different types of culture. I give it a 10 because I mean, yeah, it's a constant struggle. And actually, if I may borrow an idea from one of Split's designers, who, like last week, there was an independent culture festival, High Platformat, and their like logo of choice for this year was cockroach, because cockroaches are like, they survive the apocalypse, you know. They're like super durable.
They are.
And that's why they chose that visual for independent culture. So for like associations like Oštrokondže, associations like the guys that did that, associations like, I don't know, Photo Club Split, or other types of organizations that are like civil organizations, not government organizations, because they like, we do not quit. We may, I don't know, take a break to rest and heal, as I don't know, a person dear to me did recently, but that's just to kind of you know, build up energy to come back stronger and keep being like invincible as a cockroach. So yeah, I think, yeah,
I like it.
yeah,
I like it.
so that's my grading of the culture, kind of preserving of the culture and the culture in general here.
Okay, so I sent you something in case you hadn't seen it, about
seen
how
it.
So
Seen it, knew about it.
yeah, so I imagine it was already on your radar, but I just wanted to
Very
make
much
sure
so.
so we could talk about it. So the Ministry of Culture recently launched this new digital platform called eCulture to showcase audio, video, and 3D cultural heritage digitally, so that the citizenry can see it. I'm curious what you think about that.
I applaud any kind of initiative that will bring culture, or anything in general, closer to its users. I also applaud any kind of initiative that will try to digitize things to preserve them. That being said, any platform, including this one, if you just build it and say, hey, we built it, and then you don't engage the audience, you don't engage the people, you don't engage the associations that deal with variety, like various cultures that are under the whole like culture thing, then nothing will come of it. For example, as a user, I took a peek at it, and I'm gonna say that for now I don't want to give any judgment because it's relatively new, so I don't want to judge too soon. But the thing is, as a user, I'm a musician that is interested in ethno, and okay, I go to their drop-down menus, I select things like sheet music and recordings, and I get total of 100 both sheet music and recordings, not even.
So the content's not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet. Whether that is because it's still being uploaded, I'm fine with that. But But that being said, I would give them 6 months because they are the Ministry of Culture, so they are funded out of governmental money.
Yes. Our bill for no see.
Yeah. So I would give them 6 months to do it, and then I want a full library of absolutely everything that I know it's out there, and I doubt that will happen. And that's like one thing, and the other thing is definitely the engagement, not just with that particular thing, the digital platform that has been launched, but also the cultural institutions that are supported by the government. Like, if you want the audience to come, you at this point in time, in 21st century, when there's saturation of content everywhere, you need to engage them. You need to give me a reason to... I love theater, don't get me wrong. I've been like going there since I was 6, but you need to give me a reason to go there and not stay at home with my flat screen TV, YouTube, where I can just turn on Royal Opera House and watch it at home. You need to give me a reason to come. You need to engage me. And
drop.
Yeah. That's just like my point of view.
That's what we're doing here, is we want to hear your point of view. All right, so that is a beautiful segue to our last topic, which is going to be a little bit more, it's going to wrap up everything that we've talked about. So before we dig into that, the heavier question, yes, that. Okay. Fortunately, this platform is not enough.
Yeah, true.
Yes. There are traditions, skills, knowledge that are dying.
Yeah.
Literally dying with people. When I was on the island of Lošinj a couple weeks back, I had a meeting with the Lošinj Tourist Board. And in preparation for that, I was going through their Instagram to check it out. And I remember seeing this very beautiful, super intricate, traditional dress from a event on the island of Susak, which you can see Susak from Lošinj.
Amazing. I love those. I love those. They're amazing.
Oh yeah, and actually, do you know Betty Johnson dresses?
Yeah.
Okay. It reminded me of a Betty Johnson dress for any girls who grew up in the 90s. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. So when I went into their office, that dress was there on a mannequin, and something that I've been really interested in exploring is the preservation of these kinds of skills, and also trying to maybe teach foreigners these skills so that they can have a deeper appreciation of Croatia, and it gives them something different to do, you know, and puts people to work. A variety of things. There are a variety of benefits to that. Anyways, I was asking about this dress, and the director told me no one is alive anymore who knows how to do that.
Yeah, and that's not the only that's not the only thing. It's very, very common. Very, very common. So even us at Oštrokondže have one song that people who used to sing it are not allowed anymore. So yeah, we're losing so much. That's one of the driving forces for us to not give up, to not lose even more.
Yes, and I've been chatting with a number of Croatians about this, different parts of the country, to kind of get their take on why they think this is happening. I mean, there's two main themes that have come out of that. One is that they have said that Croatians are ashamed of their culture. And the argument that was put to me by a number of different people was that someone else has always been in charge of Croatia. There's always been some other country, Italy or Austria-Hungary or Yugoslavia or, no, I'm missing some, the Turks for a period of time. So because of that, it has almost like subconsciously told, Croatians that, well, they're always second to somebody else. So whatever they have is not as good enough as whoever was in charge or abroad or whatever, and that has made people not necessarily value their own culture as much. I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm saying this is what I have been told. So that is one thing. And then on the other side, that the youth just don't care. They're speaking English much sooner. They don't want this. A lot of them don't want to speak Croatian. They all want to go abroad. Outside of Croatia is way better than Croatia. So they're not interested in learning these traditions and keeping them and preserving them and staying in Croatia doing them. So the first thing I want to ask is, like, do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think? What is killing the preservation of the culture in Croatia?
We come back to the lack of engagement in a way, because I've seen two tiny kids in costumes from their own village dance on stage this summer at a concert we performed at. They were like this big, the little kids, this tiny. And they loved it. You could see the joy. They weren't forced to do it. You could see the joy and the willingness to be there, and the pride to actually wear those costumes that their grandparents also are wearing, but in like adult size. So obviously, when you engage properly, they want to do it, and that kind of engagement needs to start early. And we're talking about preserving of our own, like the preservation of our own culture, but we're also talking about so many other things. I don't know, going to the theater, appreciating those arts, going to see different exhibitions, going to I don't know, an art gallery, a photo gallery. That needs to start from the beginning. When you engage them, when you show them ways of being creative, the variety of ways they can be creative using either traditional heritage or other types of art, and even other things like tech. Yeah, you can achieve a lot, but you need to work. You cannot just expect kids that they're gonna like show up and do it themselves.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Should it be in schools? Should schools be responsible? Is it up to the parents? Where do you think it both?
I think it should be a collaboration. I think it should be a collaboration between the parents who need to recognize that it's an important thing to do. I think it should be the educational institutions, like governmental education institutions, that invest more time into it. And I also think that it should be done, because there are a lot of associations that do a variety of different things. Split City is an association. So there are many who deal with many various fields, including culture, and supporting them, like the government, both local and on national level, even more, because right now it's just grants that you need to apply to, and we know that grants take time and take skills to write the applications for and to get that money. So if there's more support for those kinds of organizations that are already run by people who are passionate about those things, and then you also have the inclusion with the schools, governmental institutions, and also the recognition from the parents that this is important, the kids will be engaged. But it takes a village.
Sure, absolutely. It's not just one single individual or institution that can possibly carry the weight of this. And it's a big deal. I mean, I saw a comment up here that I would like to read from Mary. The stairs in my home on Loshin were made by a carpenter who does this and a particular way of doing stairs in old stone homes, and he died. You know, and it's tragic that you have all these things and no one wants to carry on those legacies anymore. It's no good. It's no good. I'm gonna borrow a question from Michael Freer.
Is it about Rakia?
No, it isn't. It isn't. But I could make it about Rakia. I don't. No, but this is a question he asked me when I was on the panel at the Split Tech City Festival, and I think it's a great question for you. If you were Prime Minister Plenković.
Oh, I don't want to be him. I want to be Prime Minister Nikolina.
Okay. You are Prime Minister Kukoč. What is the first thing that you're going to do? You take all the time you need because I'm going to drink Rakia while you do it. I mean, besides redecorate.
Besides that, yeah. That's a tough one because there are so many things that I would like to do, so there's not a single one.
Ban pub crawls?
Yeah, but I guess that's the local government.
Yeah.
Definitely listen more to organizations that have been very outspoken about various issues that exist in the society, because I do understand that one single person cannot know, I don't know, the problems that you have in Osijek are not the same as problems that you have in Dubrovnik, or the problems that you have in, I don't know, Lastovo are not the same as the problems you have in Gospić or somewhere on the Velebit in a village on the
For sure.
So there are a variety of different realities, and I guess as any government should be more open to really listen to those realities and try to do something to improve them. So not just like be elected and that's it, now we sit in our chairs for 4 years and it's smooth sailing, and when elections come up again we pretend that we're doing something, but truly listen and truly actively try to help out. So that's what I would do. Whether I would be successful or not, or any prime minister, I guess only time would tell, but
I will work on your campaign. I know Michael will.
He'll just bring Rakia along.
He'll bring the Rakia. He'll be the Rakia man. I agree. I mean, look, we could go on about this topic for a long time. I mean, I think the point that you made about, the problems from the different parts of the country are all very different. Something I feel like I have been saying so many times in the last couple of months is, we all say, like, so easily, Croatia's a small country. But it isn't.
No, it's so wide, and it's so even widespread. I mean, and it has so many different cultural traditions throughout the country that there's so much variety that, of course, when it comes to problems, there are also so many different problems that needs to be resolved. And I mean, not that everything is about problems, of course, but
no, of course not.
But the thing is, when you want to solve them, you need to solve them like from the ground up, because someone who lives in Zagreb doesn't have the same experience as someone who lives, I don't know, on Brač.
Absolutely not. Not remotely, but it's Zagreb who makes the decisions.
Yes.
And that is something we could go on for days about. We're going to have to save that for another 5-question Friday, which of course will take us another year and a half to schedule.
Yeah.
What do you think is Croatia's biggest strength?
It's pride.
Yeah.
Because even though we might, can I curse?
Yeah.
Even though we might bitch about so many things,
Well, that's not a curse.
we are actually, I think overall we're actually prideful of our country, and we want the best for it.
For sure.
And we wouldn't have fought for it if we didn't want it. So I guess that's the biggest strength, to kind of keep that pride and willingness to do better, be better, change things for the better, not wait for someone else to change them for the better, not wait for, I don't know, Plenković to get up off his ass and do things. That's Rakia talking.
Please don't cancel my citizenship application.
I mean, a Croatian said it, so she didn't say it.
I didn't say it.
But yeah, not wait for them. Do things like we do here in Split. We could have waited for someone to, I don't know, create a technical community in Split, but Tony decided that's not gonna happen, so he started a meetup, and then from that meetup grew Split Tech City. So
And
you just do.
You could have just waited for someone else to try and preserve all these, songs from the cello, and you didn't.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, no waiting, just doing.
No waiting, just doing. There is one last question, but it's not from me.
Okay.
It's from Michael Freer.
Oh, Michael has a question?
He does.
You do?
He does.
Mikey, ask.
I've got it written down here.
Oh,
so
awesome.
the thing is this is something that the lovely people at home don't know about you, but you speak a lot of languages.
Oh my God.
So could you tell the folks at home which languages you speak?
Obviously Croatian, obviously English, Italian, and a little bit of Dutch.
Okay. So what, Michael, it's not actually really a question, it's more like a challenge.
Oh, okay. Michael's challenges. Why did you let me drink rakia before that?
You think you were in a better headspace mentally when I first met you this afternoon?
I don't know.
I mean, they say that when you drink, you're better at speaking languages, although I've never found that to be true. But
we shall see.
That's what they say.
Guess.
Okay, so he would like you, in each language, say something that captures the personality and essence of each culture.
Mm-hmm.
So say something in Dutch that's like, oh yeah, that's a super Dutch thing to say. Or this is how Dutch people are. Which means be really honest and rude.
I don't know why, but mentally I switched to food.
Oh, okay. Start wherever you would like.
Okay. Do you have an order of languages?
No,
or
it's
just
all you.
Oh, okay.
It's all you. You're the one who's got to juggle all that stuff in your head, not me.
Okay, let's
monolingual.
Let's hit it with Dutch. Godverdomme met regen en heel lekker appelbollen.
What does that mean?
Goddamn it with the rain and really, really good appelbollen. Appelbollen are basically apples that are like baked in dough and then fried, and it's like very, very, very tasty.
Those are very tasty. Those are very, very
and
tasty.
Good when it's rainy weather in the Netherlands and it's cold and you want something to warm you up.
Yeah, well, it's always rainy in the Netherlands.
Well, yeah.
I really didn't mind it when I was there.
No, I didn't either. It was actually, to be honest, it was different. It was different. It might have taken some time to get used to, But generally speaking, it's just water.
Yeah,
Like, it's just water.
it is. It's very insightful.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next language?
I guess we're doing the ones we didn't speak at all this afternoon. First, God, Italians. I mean, they are so difficult to capture because honestly, like the country is varied even more than ours. Like, so varied. But let's try.
I feel like it's important to say that Nikolina loves Italy, goes to Italy multiple times a year. She's an Italian file. I don't know if that's like a thing.
I don't know. I just have an Italian family there, like an adoptive family that just kind of happened. I like many things in life happen. Capturing essence of Italians. God, you made this very difficult.
No, Michael made it
Fear,
difficult.
you made it difficult.
Have I stumped you, or has he stumped you?
Yeah, he did.
Do you have like a word or phrase that you really like in Italian?
I do.
Okay, let's go with that.
It's actually from an opera.
Ooh.
Yeah, from an opera Fedora of a composer is Umberto Giordano, and it goes like this: Amor ti vieta di non amar, which wants to say, like, the translation would be love forbids you not to love. So meaning if you love something, that love you have for it forbids you from like not loving it and not giving it your all. So yeah.
Oh. Do you have a favorite Croatian phrase or saying?
I don't know. There's so many of them that are like interesting, important. Yeah.
There are.
Yeah. I don't get actually too attached to quotes, I guess. Yeah, because I think like there's not one that is like the one
That sticks out for
yeah,
you.
because not in any language, because like they're depend on, I guess, the mood and
Sure.
what you want to be
Time,
inspired
place.
by. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So we're gonna wrap up now. Tell all the folks at home where you can find Split Tech City and Oštrokondže. Like,
Where?
yes.
Okay, Split Tech City. Well, you have a website that you can go to with many various news about the tech community and also about events in Split that are like related to tech. You have our YouTube channel where there's a special playlist for English-speaking folks that has all the videos we ever did in English, whether they are really spoken in English or Croatian but with a translation. There's only one like that, I think. And then there's also, of course, the social media, our Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Okay, it's Twitter.
We have a Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't looked at it in not this calendar year, but it exists and content gets posted there.
It exists. We post pretty much daily. Yeah, we post pretty much daily. So except the weekends, sometimes even then if there are events happening on weekends. So yeah, that's the place to go to if you're interested in Split Tech community. If you want to connect with us, like chat or whatever, we're there. And Oštrokondže are also using socials. There's Instagram, and there's also Facebook, and there's also a little bit of it on YouTube. But yeah, because we're like not, we don't have a social media team. There's not much of it on YouTube, I guess. But
You just have to come and see it in person. Do you have any performances for the rest of the year?
We're working on a schedule, so when we know it, I'll let you know, and then you can let everyone else know.
Are you going to do a Christmas one again, like last year?
Oh, you mean with the rakia?
Yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to do one with the rakia.
No, that was beautiful. I really loved seeing that last year, so I highly recommend it. We will tag their Instagram handles for both in the caption, but if you want any of the other links that she suggested, send us a DM and Cam will get that over to you. Sorry. I know that hurt you very badly and you're going to have a bruise for weeks, but I'm sorry. Sorry. Anything else you want to say to the lovely folks at home?
Nothing much. Thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully it was interesting for all of you. It was very interesting for me, very different, very fun, and yeah, love doing it.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that we finally were able to make it work.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers. So this has been 5 Question Friday. If you're just joining us, it's over now. You missed it. Where you been?
You missed it.
But don't worry. I will post a replay in our profile here shortly. And next Friday, we will be back to the usual Sarah answers questions from the audience format. So if you would like to have a question answered here on 5 Question Friday, send us a DM, drop a comment in the replay, and you may see it answered in a future episode. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Nikolina. Happy Friday. Sretan petak. Enjoy your weekend.
Happy Friday.
Yes, bye. Vidimo se. Ciao.